The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Now, the author of The Path of Least Resistance and the Tech Insider, David White.
And welcome to a beautiful Wednesday, August the 1st. We're waiting for FOMC announcement. Could come any second now, so I know a lot of the traders are totally focused on what they're looking at. But we will persevere nonetheless. Of course, it is Wednesday, August 1st, another beautiful day at the headquarters for technical trading and investing, TFNN.com. And today is Rounds Resounding Day. August 1st was designated Rounds Resounding Day to encourage people to join with others in song. We learned to sing rounds in them when we were little kids, such as tunes as Row, Row, Row Your Boat. I'm convinced that rounds lead to pot smoking, and we've got a nice little picture of Lil Wayne here being a giant dopehead. I don't know. It just seems now, after all these years, maybe it's a camp thing, but later on, maybe rounds just are a little creepy. Maybe it's just me. But anyway, certainly doesn't change that Lil Wayne is a massive one for... and we've got comments from the peanut crowd up in the engineering room. But I don't know. Everybody tells me it's just a underappreciated art form, which is rap, poetry. Sorry, I just can't think that Lil Wayne could be stand in the same room with Pink Floyd or I don't know, just 100 other artists that really have something to say other than all the other things that would probably throw me off the air. But anyway, it is Rounds Resounding Day. As far as I'm concerned, it leads to drugs. Anyway, Algo's gone wild. It's been nutty out there today. We've had the second kind of flash crash. Right now, there's all kinds of investigations going out. Apparently, night trading had, for the second time involved, they were in a huge legal fight. It had to be 2005 or 6 for all kinds of price fixing things. I'll have to go back and check it out. All I remember was that they were just in the thick of it. It may even be back to 2000. But of course, knee deep in it. Today, they said they had what was, quote, a problem with their software, and it led to at least 148 stocks having anomalous trading. The street is going with the Girls Gone Wild theme, except changing it to Algo's Gone Wild. And apparently, the basic theme now is someone changed a factor in some of the software. So instead of selling 100 stocks, they sold 1,000 for every 100 that came in. And apparently, it drove everybody insanely batty fairly quickly. So it is... going to be kind of tough, but down at one point, I'll have to check here night trading to see what they're trading at now. But they were down. It looked like maybe 20%. Let's see if Night Capital Group, night trading. I thought it was night trading. Night Hawk. Wonder if it's Night Capital Group. Can't remember the symbol now. It's never been a stock I like to trade. Yep. Change down $2.34. Symbol is KCG if you didn't see it. Off 22.5% at least already today. It is somewhat problematic to see a company like this, but the thought is that with responsibility with the last IPO, it looks like they're at least expecting Night Capital to be under a total barrage from the people that had been using their system. Not only that, probably people moving off their system and moving to, maybe something like Bats. If we remember, Bats tried to go public not too long ago and had on their opening day an exact same kind of problem, and that is the technology just as blown up. Algorithms, as we've discussed on the show, And if you've ever been a programmer, you know that you can't program for every eventuality. The problem here, though, looks like someone made a change overnight, a simple change, and it ran through the entire system. If you're watching on Tiger TV, the one, I've got them listed here, but the ones most seriously activated today were MCP, Molycorp, CoreLogic, CLGX, China Core Board, CO, Cronus Worldwide, KRO, and Trinity Industries, TRN. Other stocks in the Dow, Dole Foods, DOLE, Radio Shack, RSH, and Quicksilver Resources, KWK. I'm actually showing now all the symbols that I could find that looked like they had anomalous trading. There are a ton of them. If you need a full list, you can always email me at path@tfnn.com. I should be able to be back about 3:30 and send out a list if you want to go back and check and see what happened in these stocks. I'll try to see if I can pull something up intraday. But let's see MCP, if I can pop something up real quick on that. And that is, yeah, maybe I can here. Maybe I can pop something up from let's see, one day. I'll just zoom into that. But, oh yeah, you can see it fairly easily. I'll go ahead and pop that up in front of everything. But a huge move in Molycorp down to, well, it was about $15.30 or so. And then a huge pop up to $17. Apparently, a lot out there happening with this algorithmic trading. Kind of interesting to see just how quickly one broker-dealer or one ECN can go awry and cause havoc for the entire stock market. They're already talking about this being the mini flash crash. Let's see if I go back. Let's see. There was one more. Maybe I didn't find it here. Okay. Anyway, we'll go on to that while we continue to see whether or not anything's happened in the market. 2-minute warning. So we'll be looking for the FOMC meeting announcements just in a minute. So, looks like we're headed down. And let's see if we can pop something up real quick and see the instant reaction in the marketplace. Let's see if I can refresh this real quick. And see what we have. S&P, yeah, I'm showing off probably a little bit lagged off about 5 points right now, so we'll check back in. Volume 2.7 million shares today. That's, if you've been following me at the 2 o'clock time, pretty strong for this time of day. A lot of that happened early on, and that's why I think we're seeing such weakness in night trading. They expect that they sold probably 10 times what they actually wanted to spend in that. So we'll have to see whether or not that was an abomination or if it's actual something real out there. Apple versus Samsung, starting to see a lot of information in the news about the patent war between Apple and Samsung. We talked about the number of units being sold. Samsung over the last 90 days sold 3 smartphones for every one that Apple did. But it doesn't take a lot to figure out that the judge in this case is a moron, doesn't understand what can be patented. We ended up spending about $5 million in legal fees in the company I was in over a number of years for patent trolls, and I got very good at understanding what is patentable, what is not. And a lot of times it doesn't matter if the guy that holds the patent is an attorney himself and represents himself. Basically, he's going to put you at the mercy of attorneys, and they're going to continue to try to rack up a big and large a fee as they can, because, of course, you don't know a whole lot about patents. Well, I ended up over the case of 3 years reading and learning a lot, reading case law, so at least I knew what these guys that were bleeding us dry, our attorneys, were doing. But the basic thing that Apple's doing that I think is going to be problematic here is they're trying to do process and look and feel patents. Those have all been thrown away. And from reading the opening statements from both Apple and Samsung, looks like Apple may have a couple patents that are probably worth something. The rest are all, you can't patent a rectangle, and that's what it looks like 3/4 of Apple's patents are. We've got something, it looks like a rectangle, and we're doing things with it. And you just can't do that. Normally there has to be just like making a cake. These kind of steps, you have to do these steps exactly the same way. And you can invalidate a patent for just doing step 2 at step 3 and switching those. If you can actually change the way things are done, a lot of patents have been invalidated on this. I suspect at the end of the day what we're going to come up with is a couple of patents about the way the user interface actually works, sticking, the rest not sticking, and I think at the end of the day Apple's going to curse the day they decided to start a patent war, because when they move these patent wars over to overseas, they kind of look at Apple as the company to fleece, and especially in China and a lot of these other larger markets in Japan, I suspect they're going to get gored over in those, and the patents are going to fall to Samsung's side. Would you rather have a big chunk of China's market or a big chunk of America's market going forward now? And I'd say I'd probably want to have China, a big chance at, 1.5 billion people in China, 1.5 billion people in India. Even though they don't all have the income we do, still looks like something I just, there's been there's been a reticence for companies to get into these projected wars, and I think Apple's going to regret that they got into it even if they win on this side of the pond. Windows 8 has gone to RTM. For people not in the industry, it's called Release to Manufacturing. That means they've totally finished Windows 8. They will not be making any changes. They will continue to try to fix bugs in the interim and make patches. But basically what's going on the CD or DVD that you will get October 26th has been fixed. That means that I should be able to, since I'm a registered developer, probably in the next week get a final copy of Windows 8. So it looks like they are well along the way to being on exactly what they're doing. So we're going to check back in with the markets here real quickly and see what we have for volume off this move. Still showing about the same move, so 219, that should be about right. Still off about 5. Let's see if I can check in here with the DIM, see anybody came up with any. It doesn't look like I've got a lot of things changing here. We'll have to check again. Maybe I've got a slow system. But I don't know. We'll be back here in just a minute. You can always give me a call at 877-927-6648. We'll be able to take a look at whatever you like to look at. But we will be back in just a minute.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kay Stalter, David White, Larry Pesavento, Victor Jones, or Daryl Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. Funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to archives of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
Millionaires are made every day. The fact is, living your dreams is possible. Someone, somewhere is going to get rich. My recommendation is, let that be you. Each day, someone is making the decision to better themselves and creating a plan to fulfill their financial dreams. Let that be you. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take massive action. Let that be you. I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of the Money Master Show with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN, and I can help you with your journey to great wealth. I'll show you how to create the ultimate financial edge, a set of tools, insights, and strategies that are part of my daily newsletter service, Mastering Probability. You'll have direct access to me by phone, email, and my private library of trading and investing secrets for 30 days with an unconditional money-back guarantee. I'll take your trading to the next level. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage at TFNN.com and turn your dreams into reality. Mastering Probability, folks. Let that be you.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
You're watching this market down a couple points in the S&P now. Not uncommon to see a lot of pitching and shoving right after a market, but I was talking to Steve Rhodes. We both kind of agreed right before the show that we'd have probably 5-10 minutes of action, and we'd go right back into waiting for the ECB to report tomorrow morning. So everybody's in this hurry up and wait, almost like we're in the Army. But I continue to think we'll see more of this. I did have a comment on the DIN, which is on my next story, and that is, I think it's going to affect probably all the brokers out there. The FCC and Verizon has finally put to rest a dispute where the carrier agreed to allow its customers to use tethering apps with its data plans. For you that don't know, Verizon and others have actually tried to charge you for the privilege of using maybe your cell phone with 4G with your laptop. Of course, they would love you to sign up for contracts for every single one of the devices you have. Verizon was charging $20 extra a month to do that. The FCC regulations have always said that you couldn't do it. So I don't know how much Verizon's actually going to pay. It didn't say in the article yet. But they have come to a conclusion that, yes, you will be able to tether. And I would imagine that now that Verizon has capitulated, we'll see this move on to all the rest of the carriers. So maybe having one phone means that's all you really will have to do for paying for a fee. Of course, AT&T's cursing the day that they ever put out the all-you-can-eat plan. A lot of people have continued that on because according to I think the contract, as long as you keep your contract current, they can't get rid of it. So a lot of people with AT&T are going to try to ride that on as long as possible, and maybe get tethering rights here very soon too. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But I think that it's probably not good news for a lot of these companies that have been trying to figure another way to stick it to the consumer. Let's see what else we have going on here. AMD has been kind of down there at about $4 and stuck. Probably the only thing that looks any good with AMD down here is that Apple's big designer has chosen to leave Apple and move to AMD. Basically, he's in the division that makes low-powered chips, and you can probably assume that AMD is getting into that business in some way. But basically, the chief of Apple's mobile chipsets, Jim Keller, is pretty much responsible for all the stuff that's in the iPhones from the iPod on. And no single person does a complete design for these kind of devices, but it looks to me like he's probably the chief. He's been listed, at least on Apple's website, as the chief developer of mobile technology hardware, and it looks like he's going to continue doing that over at AMD. I thought AMD had a very certain window. In my newsletter, I had them for a very small amount of time. But what happened when they actually needed to build something with smaller technology, the fabs outside of Intel were unable to do it. I went ahead and punted them. I went a little bit higher, and I think I probably could have gotten $8 instead of $7 out of it in my newsletter, but I didn't want any part of them once I knew that they had a problem actually executing anything like 28 or 24 nanometer technology, which is pretty much the standard for Intel today. It looks like Intel will continue to have at least one generation, if not two generations, ahead of them. And of course, every time you shrink the die size of these chips, the amount of power, pretty much every generation is a 25% drop in power usage, which of course lends to a lot more life in a tablet or a cell phone. And with AMD not controlling their own fabs, and the fabs being way behind what Intel can do, it's always going to be problematic. I suspect Intel is going to hit the market, especially the ARM market, just because the other two fabs, Taiwan Semiconductor and think of the other one in a minute, probably is just not going to be able to keep up with the production capability of Intel. In fact, Intel bought a company, it was a week or two ago, that's pretty much axes out the rest of the company. This company was a big stereolithography, printing very small stuff. And I think they were in Norway or somewhere up there. Anyway, he got rid of the only potential customer or company that could help Taiwan Semiconductor and the other fabs out of building smaller devices, and basically brought it back in. So Intel going to have that competitive edge for a while. We'll take one quick look. You can give me a call at 877-927-6648. And let's see what we have here. Off a buck on the S&P. Looks like we're right back into the holding position for the ECB tomorrow. So we'll be hanging on. Give me a call, 877-927-6648.
Would you like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits ranged from 6.5% to over 24%, and all of these trades had had been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, an $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market take and provides trade recommendations including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guessing. Log on to TFNN.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, we're going to start looking at stocks. I was checking on mine during the break, and also the volume, 2.9 billion shares so far in the consolidated tape. I'm wondering how much of that had to do with the mini night flash crash. I wonder what they'll be calling it tonight. I'm sure they'll be haranguing a lot of hand-wringing later today, but it looks to me like the bulk of this problem is going to fall on night. And, of course, being off a couple of bucks, big like they are, I guess 1038 is the high and 761 is the low today. Gives you kind of idea, and off almost 24%. Kind of interesting to see what we have going on. We've been looking at the clothing sector. We're going to look at them quite a little bit more today as we're at. I'm already short one of these stocks in the sector, and actually it's doing fairly well. We have I started off with 4 shorts in my last in the last cycle. We've had to have a little bit of the market go against us on us, but Still short 3 of the 4, and one actually off a couple percent on a flat day today. So I'm pretty happy. I can continue to think that, well, you got two things. One, historically the worst months in the market are in August, at least for the last 20, 25 years. And I don't see that this will be any different. I suspect that we're going to have lighter volume. This is going to probably still need to get back down to that 1266, 1285 level on lighter volume to set up the next move in the marketplace. And I believe we could probably see something like that in September. I just suspect we need to get to all the irrational exuberance that we have in the market out of it now. And it still seems awful frothy when I look at several stocks in the marketplace. Apple's doing fine. No surprise there. I guess I have to pat myself on the back. I hit two stories that before the general media really picked up on them. One was on Monday, talked a little bit about the India power problem. Probably a good 6 hours before it really started hitting Drudge Report and some of the other things like that. And pretty good on Apple's rollout date for the iPhone 5. I think it was a good 12 hours ahead of the general news cycle on finding that out. But again, Apple coming out last week of September with the iPhone 5, going to be awful tough to make people think that it's time to be selling their Apple shares. Although the images and the data so far leaked about the i5 don't make me really think this thing is the kind of game changer that a lot of people at Apple would think it is going to be. If these things that are leaked are not totally a lie from Apple and they're just putting out disinformation, the product does not look all that great in comparison to make people want to upgrade. Let's say if you had a 4S, would you want to upgrade to the 5? And unless there's something else that they're not saying, which good possibility, but it's going to have a little faster processor, better display, but it's not anything anymore where it gets harder and harder to outdo yourself. And Apple's products, at least the early leaks right now hitting the internet, say Apple's going to be well with it. And I think a lot of people that have the 2 and the 3 will upgrade. But if you have a 4S, it's not anything that looks that groundbreaking so far. So, I guess probably the biggest difference is it's going to be the connector, and also has the faster processor, probably a little bit better battery life. But I don't know. Just I think they're going to do well. But I think we're in this kind of maintenance mode now for Apple, and this could go on for years. It could be a Google where they work on the next product to take them up to the $1,000 mark, and they could be in this giant trading range of at an extreme down to $474 up to $660, something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see $660, during the fall sometime, maybe after the 4S. But this doesn't seem to me like they are being revolutionary anymore. It looks like evolutionary products. It's going to be kind of interesting. Surprisingly enough, and before I get to the stocks, China has just actually gone full tilt with their new dam, and their dam actually produces as much power, the Three Gorges Dam, 18 nuclear reactors. They're actually continuing to build out their electrical grid, but not a whole lot of work. Actually, one of the companies I was invested in was actually doing a lot of work in Russia, and they are the next country that is going to probably have huge electrical issues as they continue to upgrade very small sections of their electrical grid, but are not keeping it up to date. But India in a world of trouble. Almost all the northern provinces still out of power. It looks like to me like they're going to be out of power for a while. They said that they had them back on, and then they went back off, and then they said they had them back on. It's kind of like the same thing we see around here. Anyway, we're looking at some of these clothing companies because they are starting to look fairly weak. The Gap brought up on Monday, still looking awful pricey up here. It is back to school season. I suspect that everybody's thinking, and it's probably pumped up for that. It's hard for me to believe that the Gap is the place that kids want to go anymore. Maybe it's just a seasonal bump. But we continue to see this thing up on weak volume and may get a close under 29.23, which was the May 1st high. Almost 9 million shares. The best we got was about 6.5 million shares. Has gone above it. Let's see what the... may not close below it today. You'd want to close back below that 29.23 to guarantee a short. You got that yesterday, so you've already got the signal that the Gap has pretty much topped out. Again, fairly light volume today. There may be a little bit of contagions from all the night trading stuff today, so it may be a little bit fuzzier than we normally or will normally look at a lot of these markets. Want to just check back up and see what we have. Yeah, what are we going to be off? About 3 points on the S&P, 3.5 points. Let me check this up because we do want to watch this volume. It is big. 3 billion shares now, and yeah, what are we off at 1373? Off 2, I guess. Not a big deal quite yet on the market. Let me make sure I've updated it here. It looks like it. Yeah, I guess that's right. I'm always a little bit nervous here after these markets because sometimes you get a little lag. But, we got 3 billion shares, which is a big day, especially after some of the lighter volume days we've had on these up days to watch these. Let's see if there's anything else I'm looking at. I mean, we've had some fairly decent moves in the market, and maybe we'll get to them before the end of the day. But I continue seeing the Gap and I'm trying to remember the other company, AEO. That we were talking about Monday. Another one. This one's already confirmed, and these clothing, especially kind of, I guess school really starts in about a week. These look like they've kind of come close to topping out. American Eagle Outfitters is another one of these mall retailers that kids go to. May 2nd high out here, $21.13, 25 million shares. Got into that with 3.3 million shares on the 30th of July. We have a close back below it. This one is one of the few that actually had a decent sign of strength. So that would say that maybe we'll get back in and fill that. You've already kind of filled that gap once. But my guess is that this very light volume up here tells you that we're going to try to come back into that gap level, which is going to be about, what is that, about 18, 15, maybe $19, something like that. Not a huge move back. When we go back to the Gap, looks weaker. You didn't have that massive sign of strength anywhere close to the same price. You got about $25 on Gap, and that looks like the 25.02 low on June 4th. Looks like this thing would probably come back there on any general market failure. Another one that we've been looking at in the markets is Open Text Company. If we are wrong and this market's ready to move up, Open Text, OTEX is the symbol. It's kind of an interesting company out here. They are basically enterprise content management. Think of a proprietary PDF for inside your company for producing business documents, records, web content, email, and archiving it all. But they kind of put that all together in a system. But not a bad-looking chart out here when you think that, or trying to look for one that has possibly based out. Nice big leg down from $62.70 on April 17th. Came down and made a low at $45.27 on June 12th, and you had about 630,000 shares. Nice little pop up, which is your automatic rally up to $53.21 on July 5th. We've come back down, closed below the previous low, and now we're just closing back above them today. But certainly nice light volume. basically 400,000 shares compared to 630,000 shares on that July 12th low, and starting to close back above them. Generally, what you're looking for is some level of consolidation, and you might see one or two more of these bumps. But come around September 1st, if this thing's bounced around and continues to see low volume and maybe buying around this $45 level, may be a nice one to keep a look at. Your first resistance level is going to be about $55, $56, where there's heavy upside to it. But it might be good for a $10 range, maybe more, but probably $10 looks like it probably would go back up and hit that level and find resistance at the $55 level. What else do we have going on there? In fact, you can give me a call, 877-927-6648, and let me know what's going on, and maybe check out one of the stocks that you're interested in. We continue looking at another one is that kind of caught my eye was an aluminum company, NOR. What we're looking at here, the high volume low probably came on earnings or something. June 1st, $6.29, 3.2 million shares. Nice spike down, found your low. We're now testing that out and have been for about 3 or 4 days out here. NOR is the symbol, Noranda Aluminum Holding Corporation. Let me just get their profile real quick. But, you certainly have exactly what I look for, which is a strong leg down, a nice little pop, and then you want to see the energy dissipate. And again, this may be one that we're going to have to go to the end of August to find, but it doesn't look all that bad out here. They engage in the production and sale of primary aluminum products and rolled aluminum coils in the United States. It mines, produces, and sells bauxite used for aluminum production. The company refines and converts bauxite into alumina, smelts it, and produces primary aluminum products in various forms. Billet rod, high purity sow, don't know what sow is, foundry ingot, as well as a commodity grade sow. I guess I'll have to find out what sow is in aluminum. Every day you have to learn something in this business, which is always good. I didn't know what sow is. Another one that's caught my eye here is NiSource. Symbol is NI. It had a kind of a nice little resistance level. And we've got the May 1st high, $25.79, 5.3 million shares, $25.79. You've gotten above that, $26.15. 2 days, you've gotten a pullback off those highs on, 3.1 million shares. And what do we got today? Certainly a whole lot less than that. So another one to keep an eye on. Not a huge mover back here, but looks like it on a failure might move back down to $22.32 as we continue looking at these stocks out here. Xterra Holdings, another one that's had a nice move off the low from December 19th. It had almost a 100% run up to the $15.23 high on February 29th. That came with 1.5 million shares. We're coming into that with almost half that volume, actually less than half that volume. You have gone above it. You've closed below it. Xtran Holdings, EXH, is given a fairly decent sell signal. I like this one. If you can see on Tiger TV, I do have my power law vector indicator numbers up on all the moves. Pretty nice. This one shows you the strength that came up off the bottom with it. In case my number here, you kind of want to look at these logarithmically, but 4.7. This last move was about a 2.7. Think of it like a Richter scale, but you want to compare apples to apples and chart to chart. That number actually encases time, price change, and volume in one number. And, of course, a little less of price change in this, but pretty close to the same amount of time. The amount of energy, just not what you would think to go out and blow out that top in Xtran Holdings, EXH. Looks like you probably found at least a short-term top and going to come right back down to $13.50. We'll be back in just a minute. Give me a call, 877-927-6648.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Time is the great equalizer of all mankind. Time doesn't care about winners or losers, who succeeds or fails. Time only cares that you played the game. Question: are you playing the money game? Is your money working as hard for you as you are for it? I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, a daily trading and investment newsletter service, and we're celebrating our 1-year anniversary. In year 1, we generated a 30% profit. Plus, I provided 26 hours of live coaching to my clients. My daily newsletter service is available by 8 a.m. each day and covers the stock, futures, currency, and commodity markets, along with all the current patterns that you can trade. Each newsletter is packed with education, and it's yours for as little as $3 per day. And for the next 30 days, you can try it risk-free. Click on my name, Steve Rhodes, on the homepage of TFNN.com and begin your journey to great wealth today. If you're waiting for a better tomorrow, remember this: today's tomorrow will soon be yesterday, and your clock is ticking. Mastering Probability. Now is your time.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
I did have a email today, and I wanted to answer it before the end of the show, and then we'll get to Xterra. Pandora Media, someone asked me what I thought about that long ago, and it really hasn't changed. I suspect that this is going to be the next company in the $3 crowd. Symbol is P for Pandora Media. They have a online music service. I continue to think that Spotify is still much better. In fact, there's some new apps out now for Spotify for Android, and been a lot of buzz about them. I haven't downloaded them. But especially if you're like me, a lot of traders, you spend a lot of time at home. Some of these things where you get free music online sounds pretty good. They play playlists of things you like. Not so bad. Pandoria is kind of looking at the old radio model, Sirius Satellite. I don't think that model is going to work long term. I think they're headed back down to $7.83, but eventually going to be among more of these stocks that are on the road to roadkill in the market. So we'll continue to look at that. Talked about Friday night about the lawsuits that were going to pile up, especially for Zynga. Of course, they are coming in spades this morning. You can Google Zynga suits beginning to pile up. You'll probably find a bunch of articles. Basically, everything from Groupon to even LinkedIn, although they're doing much better. But, LinkedIn continues to... was that LNKD? I haven't looked at them in a couple of days. LNKD. They've enjoyed a lot of they actually make money. They know how they make money. But I think they're tending to get painted with the broad brush of these other losers out here. I would love for this to come into some kind of cataclysmic low, and maybe back about $80. This thing may be interesting to look at again, but I suspect that whole thing, of course, today looking kind of ugly, but still looking like that might be an interesting move. If I'll set my alarm down there around $85, take a look at it down there. But I think just going to get slimed with the rest of the other one. Energy Corporation, ETRs, one that I was looking at. We'll end up the day talking about it. Hopefully have enough time to get to the total volume for the market. Let's see if I can find something here. There we go. Yeah, we got plenty of time. What I'm looking at is $74 high on December 5th. Came in at 4.2 million shares on energy. ETR is the symbol. You had a huge, nice signal yesterday on 1.4 million shares as it got to a previous gap that's just above this area. Did a reversal and is headed just a little bit lower out here. I would say this is more than the standard for stocks right now. As we start to hit these highs on lighter volume, means that you probably have the next high volume lows to go back. In this case, it's around that $66 level where there was a lot of volume left, and I think that's probably still the area of support for energy out here. But volume was a little off on the way back up, not as horribly as some of the other ones, but we continue to look at that. So with the last minute here to go, let me update volume and price here just to see where we're at. 3.1 billion shares, so the volume has slowed down a little. We are off about 3 points on the S&P. Probably not a big deal. I still believe that the Fed was going to do nothing. I put that in my newsletter this week. I still think that the ECB is going to be a lot of promise and very little in actual presentation of what they're going to do. They can jawbone a lot. I just don't see it actually amounting to anything. It's like herding cats over there, and it's going to be tough for them to get it all together. I suspect tomorrow we're going to find out they're going to promise a lot and do nothing and continue jawboning in this market. I expect us to start heading down after they come out with the news.